Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to my channel. In the previous video, we introduced you with the convolutional neural networks and the architecture including the CNN, pooling, flattening and dense layer. And we also discussed how do we compute for the convolution and the pooling operation. But in the previous example, we discussed about a grayscale image. In this video, we are going to discuss if the image is RGB or a color image, then how the convolution operation will be performed. So the image could be of three types. It could be binary, grayscale or RGB. The binary image has only two pixel values, 0 or 1. The grayscale images has values ranging from 0 to 1. And the RGB image has three channels and each channel has its own value. And when these channels are stacked upon each other, it shows us a colored image. Let's take an example of this small 5 by 5 image. Now we can see that this image is a three-dimensional array, 5 by 5 by 3. So what is the 3 indicating? It is the number of channels in the image. So the image is a RGB image, so the number of channels are 3. In case of grayscale, there would be only a single channel. So we have 3 channels, the red, the green and the blue. And these 3 channels or the 2D arrays are stacked so that it is forming a 3-dimensional image. So in today's video, we are going to perform a convolution operation on this 5 by 5 by 3 image. Suppose we have this 3 channel image. So each channel has its own value. So the first channel is the red channel. It has its own value. Then green channel and then blue channel. Now if we are passing this image to the convolutional layer, and the convolutional layer has 3 by 3 filters. Now the convolutional filter will automatically match the depth of the filter with the depth of the input image. So the input image has depth of 3 or 3 number of channels. The channels in the filter will also be 3. So now we would have a 3 by 3 by 3 filter. And each channel would have different values. So now we have 3 input image channels and 3 filter channels. Remember, this is only a single filter, but it has 3 channels. Similarly, we have a single image, but it has 3 channels. Now each of the filter will convolve on its corresponding image channel. Let's start with the first channel and the first filter. So when we convolve a 3 by 3 filter on a 5 by 5 image, we will get a 3 by 3 output. We will discuss about the calculation of the output feature map dimension in the next video. So for now, when we convolve a 3 by 3 filter on a 5 by 5 image, we get a 3 by 3 output feature map. Now we convolve the first channel of our filter on the first channel of our image and we got the first output. Now we will do the same for the remaining channels and remaining filter channels as well. So for the second channel of input, image and for the second channel of the filter, it will be convolved on the image and we will again have a 3 by 3 output. Similarly, we will convolve the third channel of our filter on the third channel of our image and then do the computation, and after convolution we will get this 3 by 3 output feature map. Now here we can see that we have 3 input image channels. We have 3 channels of the input image and their corresponding output feature maps. Now the next step is to add up the corresponding values all of these 3 channels. And when we add all them up, we get this final 3 by 3 matrix. But the task has not done yet because during convolution, we have not added the bias term. So remember one thing, whenever we are dealing with a kernel that is a 3-dimensional kernel, the bias value would be the same for the whole filter or the kernel. We will not add the bias to each corresponding filter. So when doing convolution, we did not add the bias. The bias will be added in the last step. So first we did the convolution operation for the three channels of input image with the three channels of the filter and then added their values together to form a 2D array of 3 by 3. Now the next step is to add one value of bias. Suppose the value of bias was 1. So we will add 1 to each value of this 3 by 3 matrix. So 19 will become 20, negative 1 becomes 0, 3 becomes 4, 14 becomes negative 13, 3 becomes 4 and so on. So the final output feature map that we got after applying a 3 by 3 by 3 filter on a 5 by 5 by 3 image. So values are 20, 0, 4, minus 13, 4, 19, 5, 3, 13. So during convolution operation, most of the students do this mistake. So they add the bias value for each channel of the filter during convolution. But the bias value belongs to the filter, not each channel of the filter. So this value will be added only once. So now here we have the output feature map of the convolution operation on an RGB image. If we have understood how do we perform the convolution operation, how do we perform the convolution operation on an RGB or multi-channel image, then there is one more thing that I need to discuss. When the output of one convolutional layer is passed as input to a second convolutional layer, the same thing happens here as well. The image has now multiple channels, and the channels are decided by the number of filters on this layer. So the convolutional layer, conv1 had 32 filters. That's why the output of the conv1 layer is 64 by 64 by 32. So 32 is the depth. Similarly, in the case we saw earlier, we have an image with depth 3. Now we have the output feature map of the conv1 layer with the depth of 32. Now if we pass this input to second convolutional layer, and second convolutional layer has 3 by 3 filters and the number of filters are 64. Then what would be the output of the conv2 layer? So the thing that you need to remember is the 3 by 3 filters of this convolution layer will automatically match the depth of the input feature map. The input feature map has a depth of 32. So the filters will become 3 by 3 by 32. And then they will convolve on the input feature map and then bring a 2D array. So when you convolve a 3 by 3 filter on 64 by 64 image, you get a 62 by 62 image. And the depth of this output would be 64. The depth is determined by the number of filters that we have. So one filter is bringing the output 62 by 62. So the 64 filters will bring the output 62 by 62 by 64. Now you might be wondering, how would I know that if the input is 64 by 64 and the filter is 3 by 3, then the output would be 62 by 62. There should be some formula to calculate the size of the output feature map. So that's we are going to discuss in our coming video. So stay tuned and see you in the next video.